Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
So you go back to DC. You get your MBA in real estate.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
I went to work for Ernst
Ernst & Young, okay. Or what's now Ernst & Young, right?
Yeah, I did. And I don't think I was cut out to be an accountant.
Okay.
Then I went to work for a firm called Gladstone.
Okay.
And Gladstone was a market research firm,
Okay.
specializing in real estate.
There you go.
That's
your wheelhouse.
That was it. And I stayed there until I got a phone call from my brother-in-law, who worked for a national real estate development firm called American Housing Guild,
Okay.
based in San Diego.
Okay.
He said they're looking for a national director of market research.
Really?
And I called up, and a month later I was out there.
Yeah. And we're now currently in Rancho Penasquitos, which is a suburb of San Diego. And so you've been in San Diego ever since?
Yes, and American Housing Guild sold off its apartment division and became Continental American Properties, or Con-Am.
Okay.
And
I remember Con-Am.
Yeah, well, I was with them for 20 years.
My goodness.
And I still invest with them. And they have grown dramatically.
Yeah, absolutely.
They manage, I think, 50,000 apartments around the country.
So you were with Con-Am for 20 years?
Yes. And then I was, there were two parts of Con-Am.
Mm-hmm.
Con-Am management, and then I became president of Con-Am Securities,
Okay.
which was the fundraising activity at Con-Am to raise money to buy more apartments.
Sure.
And I spent 5 years on the road.
Oh my goodness.
With 3 guys I hired.
Okay.
And we raised money, and we raised over $400 million.
My goodness. And how long ago was that?
That was 1983 to 1988.
Wow. So those were kind of the beautiful years in real estate.
Yeah.
There was a lot happening back then.
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. And then I got an offer to be director of real estate research for Home Fed Bank.
Home Fed, my goodness, we know them here.
Yes, and I was with them for 1.5 years, and they closed down.
Yeah. I remember when all that happened.
Yeah. And I went back to Con-Am.
My goodness.
So, and then I went with a firm called Market Point.
Yeah, I remember Market Point.
And I was with them for...
Market Point Realty Advisors, right?
You've got it.
Yeah, I remember Market Point.
I was with them for like 14 or 15 years.
Yeah.
And then I went over to work with my friend Gary London.
Mm-hmm. I know Gary.
Yeah. And
good guy.
Then I learned of a firm called Expera Group.
Mm-hmm.
And went over there. I was there 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they got bought out.
Did they?
And I didn't have a warm relationship with the firm that bought them out. So I moved over to where I am now, which is at GAFCON.
Gotcha.
Where I'm director of economic research.
So are you working for Yehudi?
Very much so.
There you go. Well, tell him I said hi. I got to meet him several years ago when Ted Bumgardner worked for him.
Yes.
I got a chance to meet him a long time ago.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like working with him.
So I love Ted, obviously. Ted was the best man at my wedding.
You're kidding.
No, super good guy. And the night of my wedding, we was at the Hotel Del. The night of my wedding, the videographer was running around with a microphone and a video camera in his hand, and he found my dad and Ted hanging out at the bar just outside the reception area. Right, they were out there keeping it warm, and they handed the microphone. The videographer handed the microphone to Ted, and Ted goes, "I've just got one bit of advice for you. If you treat her like a thoroughbred, she'll never be a nag." My wife watched that on the video, and she said, "I'm not a horse," So years later, so fast forward 25 years later, I'm sitting in a doctor's office, and my wife says to the doctor who didn't know me, she says, "You're dealing with a thoroughbred here. Have you ever been to the races where they put them in the chute, and they're getting ready to release the chute, and the thoroughbred's jumping around, ready to go, antsy to go, and hurts themselves in the chute?" And she's like, "Yeah." She goes, "You got to give him some rein. You got to give it right." She literally called me a horse in that appointment. It was a cracker.
Very good.
Oh, I was very proud.
We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.